seems like their energy level is endless. I mean, they're always going. Even when I get them home, it takes another 2 hours to wind them down to get them into bed. And sometimes they don't even fall asleep. They are watching TV and stuff. It keeps us pretty busy.
As soon as he walked in, I knew who it was. He had the red sweatshirt on, and you could see the veins, like, bulging through this thing, And of course, I was used to being around champion bodybuilders, but I don't think I'd ever seen that yet.
Brian took me under his wing and taught me all the poses and stuff, and then he would go over, like diet and stuff, and tell me what I need to eat.
The thing that separated him, of course, is just his work ethic from the very start has been supreme. He was never one of them guys you had to push.
My first show, I went in, won first and overall, and I'm like, whoa, I can probably be pretty good at this. When I was in high school, the gym I worked out was like Metroflex. When I was in college, the gym I worked out at was like Metroflex. So I got accustomed to working out at a gym that had no AC, there was dirt on the floor, there was no carpet. And I kind of like fell in love with that type of gym. You get used to a certain thing, you just don't want to change, because that's kind of like what's worked for you your whole life. And you fall in love with it, and that's what you want to do. And that's what Metroflex is. And that's what it's been for me all my life. Yeah, it's what I'm accustomed to doing, and it's what made me successful. So, like they say, if it ain't broke, then you ain't got nothing to fix there.
I knew he could be Mr. Olympia one day. There's no man who trains harder anywhere. I truly believe that if Ronnie put his mind to it, he could set the all-time record in powerlifting. And not only be the greatest bodybuilder of all time, but the greatest powerlifter of all time also. I think Ronnie could be Mr. Olympia until he's 45, 50 years old if he wanted to be.
This is 2000, I'm still here. I've been here for almost 11, 12 years. Been the happiest times of my life, and I kind of like hope Brian's been kind of happy with me being here.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian is kind of like, an angel to me, because, I've been working out now for about 25 years. And when I first walked in that door, Brian had told me I could be a world champ. And he stuck by his belief and his feeling toward me. It's kind of like we got a bond here. So I think we kind of like a family. I didn't do this thing all by myself. I had some help. And right here is my angel, Brian Dobson.
Thank you.
One of the guys could be like with the top guys anyway. So I didn't even qualify for the Olympia in '93. So I went to the Olympia in '94 and placed 15, 16, somewhere in there. But at least they called me out and compared me to the other guys. So 1995 rolls around, and I went to Olympia that year, and I think I placed like 11th, somewhere in there, 12th, somewhere in there. So, I'm moving up in places, and I'm doing a little bit better, In '96, I did pretty good in the Olympia. I ended up in like 7th place that year. So things are getting better and better every year. '97 rolls around, and that year at the Olympia, I got 9th, Before the Arnold was the Ironman, and I ended up in like third place, I think. But the guy who won the show was Lee Priest. I'm like, man, how did he beat me? You know, Lee about this tall. I'm like, I don't know if this is a sport for me. So I'm at the Arnold Classic, and I remember going after the prejudge. I went back to my room. My girlfriend at the time was Vicky, a girl named Vicky Gates. She was competing in the show too. I'm like, Vicky, I think I'm done with this bodybuilding stuff. they let guys like Lee Priest beat me. I don't think this is for me. She's like, boy, shut up. You ain't gonna quit. And I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, if I do quit, I might lose my free membership to the gym. So I think I am gonna hang around here for a little while longer. So. I've always had back issues from my high school days. I hurt my back in high school, I hurt my back in college. One day out on the football field, something snapped, and I went to chiropractor, and I've been going to chiropractor ever since then.
We're going to utilize the Apollo Code laser here with different types of laser therapies. Of course, we want to protect the eyes. The cold laser therapy is a slower laser therapy that is utilized for musculoskeletal injuries. We're putting this on Ron's muscles here, on the lateral aspect of the paralumbars, and then we're going to work our way down into the sacroiliac joint. Ronnie had injured his back, I believe, when he was doing a squat.
Yeah, it was painful, you know, to have a disc just pop out. I was getting ready for the Arnold Classic at this time. It was December 1996. Wasn't 600 pounds, and you know, 600 pounds for me is like nothing. I always do like, you know, 12 to 15 reps with that, and I was coming up on rep number 8, and pow, the disc just pop out. And I didn't know what had happened, you know, I just heard a loud pop. I thought the guy actually that was spotting me had hit me to get me fired up, you know, for the set. But he told me, no, man, I didn't touch you. I'm like, what was that loud sound? He said, like, I don't know. I don't know either, but I'm done with squats. So I went on over and did leg press, did my hamstring, a couple exercises, came home, and I ate, took a shower, put on my uniform to go to work, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still in pain. And I like, should I make this right turn and go to work, or should I make this left turn and go to the hospital? So I made the left turn, went to the hospital, and found out, you know, I had a herniated disc.
Have you ever recommended for Ronnie to stop lifting so heavy?
Yeah. Yeah. I sure did. You know, Ronnie, he had a goal in view. He wanted to be the #1 bodybuilder in the world. But of course, eventually, with the massive weights that he was lifting, those discs can many, many times pay a pretty heavy price.
was a beast. And, you know, he set a new standard for bodybuilding, which, you know, came to my time, and I couldn't get as big as him till he took over.
I mean, it was so above and beyond everybody else's. You know, it was very, very hard to see that, you know, and especially when the hips went, and I mean, he had to use a walker and all that. That was tough for me, you know, and you know, he got down to, I don't know, 215 pounds probably at one point, maybe, you know, 220. And I mean, you know, I'd never seen him this small ever, you know.
Always there at all my surgeries, so you know that's gonna be real hard to go through and not have her there, because I'm so used to, you know, waking up and seeing her.
Oh, well.
All right, Ronnie, let's get this thing done.
Yeah, buddy. Okay.
I know the answer, because Ronnie's not going to cry about anything. That's the thing about Ronnie Coleman. He's not going to make excuses for himself. Well, this is why it happened. He'd rather just say, you know, when people say, hey.
And I've been working here for 12. And the famous question is, why do you still work here and you're Mr. Olympia, 2-time Mr. Olympia? My answer to that question is, because I love it.